class 7. Today we are going to start with the chapter Golu grows a nose. It is a funny chapter about an elephant, how he grows a nose. So let us read. Okay. Afterwards we will do it. Now Golu grows a nose. It is being displayed in front of your screens. Those students, other students, you can listen to it. So, long ago, the elephant had no trunk. They had only a bulgy nose. So earlier in the old times, that the elephants, they don't have long trunk. What they have only bulgy nose. Bulgy means which is outward protruding. Okay? As big as a boot. How much? Like for example, we have a boot. In this manner, they have grown a nose. He could wiggle it from one side to side, but couldn't pick up things with it. So he can move his nose in this manner from one side to another, but the elephant is not able to pick up things with it. There was a baby elephant called Golu. So who was that young elephant whose name was Golu? Okay, he too had no trunk but only a bulgy nose. So what he had? He also had a bulgy nose. Okay, and as small as a small boot. How much big? It is just like a small boot. Okay, small boot it was like. And just a moment please. Yes, it was just like a small boot. Golu was full of questions. He asked his tall aunt, the ostrich, why don't you ever fly like, 1 minute, like other birds? So Golu is very inquisitive, curious to know various things. He is asking his aunt, who was an ostrich. He asked, aunt, dear aunt, you have wings, but why don't you fly? Because you know that ostrich, they don't fly, although they are birds. Now, then he asked the tall uncle, the giraffe, what makes your skin so spotty? Then he also asked his uncle giraffe that why your skin is so spotty. Spotty means why there are different kind of spots on it. He asked his huge uncle, the hippopotamus, why your eyes always so red? So he also asked his uncle hippopotamus, this is also an animal, that why your eyes are always so red? He asked the hairy uncle, the baboon. This is also an animal. So what is you will do? You will find the pictures of these animals and tell me what they are like. Okay? Baboon, why do melons taste like melons? See, why melons taste like melons? Can you expect any answer for this? No. कि melons ऐसे क्यों हैं? We can't expect an answer. Why melons are like melons? Melons or taste like melons? He can't be able to give an answer. The ostrich, the giraffe, the hippopotamus and baboon, they had no answers to his questions. So Golu is a naughty baby. He asked such difficult questions. They said, this Golu is a naughty baby. He is always asking these kind of silly questions. Golu went home. He took 100 sugar canes, 50 dozen bananas and 25 melons. So when he has gone home, what he has got? He took 100 sugar canes, 50 dozen bananas and 25 melons. Then he said to his family, goodbye, I'm going to the great grassy Limpopo River. He said, goodbye, where I'm going to Limpopo River. This was the name of a river. I'll find out what the crocodile has for dinner. He said, I want to see what crocodile will eat for dinner. He had never seen a crocodile and didn't know what one looked like. Because why he wanted to go to crocodile? Because he had never seen a crocodile and what it was like. He met a python and asked him, have you ever seen a crocodile? What does he look like? And what does he have for dinner? So he did not find crocodile, but on his way, what he has found? He has found a python. What is python? Yes, it is a big snake. Okay, very poisonous. He asked python, have you seen crocodile? And you know what does he eat for dinner? Now see, the python uncoiled himself from the branch of a tree and said nothing. Golu politely helped him to coil round the branch again and said goodbye to him. So he did not give any answer to Golu's question. So Golu helped the python to coil around again the branch and said goodbye to him. Then Golu moved on eating sugar canes, bananas and melons. After a few days, he reached the very edge of the great grassy Limpopo river. On the bank of the river, he saw a log of wood. So Golu moved on. So daily he was eating different, Arjun sit properly. So daily what he was doing, he was eating different types of fruits that he has taken. What he has taken sugar canes, bananas, and ultimately he has also taken along with him what he has also taken banana, sugar canes, as well as yes. So ultimately he was eating those things. So finally what happened that he has gone to the bank of Limpopo river. So what he has found there he on the bank, he saw a log of wood. Log of means big piece of wood he has seen. What he has seen? Big piece of wood. Okay. It was really the crocodile who winked at him. Winked means blinked at him, looked at him. Excuse me, have you ever seen a crocodile? So actually, what was that log of wood? It seems like a log of wood, but actually what it was crocodile. So Golu asked the crocodile, have you seen a crocodile? Crocodile winked again and lifted half his tail out of the mud. Come here, little one. Why do you ask such questions? So the crocodile, he again looked at him and he lifted his tail a bit and said from the mud, okay, he said, come dear child, why are you asking such questions? I want to know. Come, he said, I'm asking these questions because I want to know. Come close, little one, for I'm the crocodile. And he shed crocodile tears to show it was quite true. Okay, and he said, come near me. I'm the crocodile. You can come near me. And actually what is there? He started shedding crocodile tears. What is the meaning of shedding crocodile tears? When you are just pretending that you are crying. सच में नहीं कहते ना मगरमच्छ के आंसू, है ना? Means जब आप झूठ मूठ कर होते हो. Okay, when you lie. So Golu was afraid, but he sat down on the bank and said, you are the very person I was looking for. Please tell me what you have for dinner. He said, okay, you are the person I'm looking for, but tell me, what do you eat for your dinner? Come here, little one. I'll whisper the answer to you, said the crocodile. Crocodile said, come to me. Okay, I will tell the answer slowly, whispering in your ear. Golu put his, Golu put his head down close to the crocodile's snout and crocodile caught him by the nose. So what happened? Golu, he bent in this manner in front of crocodile and crocodile, he caught hold of his nose. Okay, Golu. So I think today's baby elephant will be my dinner. He said, today I will eat a baby elephant. Let me go, you are hurting me. Screamed Golu. Scream means shouting, crying. Golu was crying, he was shouting, please let me go. I'm not going to be your dinner. Let me go. The python, who had been quietly following Golu, came to the bank and said, if you do not pull as hard as you can, the crocodile will drag you into the stream. Now, the python, he was following Golu. He said, stretch your body. Okay, pull your body. If you will not pull yourself, then the crocodile will drag you into the water and will eat you. Golu sat back on his little haunches. Haunches means back legs. Okay, and pulled and he was pulling and pulling. Naturally, his nose was being stretched. So the crocodile slipped into the water, making it all creamy with great sweeps of his tail. And he also pulled and pulled. And the crocodile, he has also gone into the water. He has made everything creamy by pushing his tail in this manner. And he was also pulling and pulling Golu into the stream of water. Then the python coiled himself round Golu's stomach and said, "Let's pull harder." Golu dug in all his four legs in the mud and pulled. So the python, he coiled around the body of trunk of Golu and said, "Now pull harder." Golu sat on his four legs in the mud by bending them and started pulling his body again and again. The nose kept on stretching and his nose, it kept on stretching. So at each pull, the nose grew longer and longer and it hurt Golu. So what happened? This ultimately hurt Golu. The nose was now 5 feet long, but it was free at last. So now his nose has come out to be long, 5 feet long, but he is no longer in the custody or in the grip of the crocodile. Golu sat down with his nose wrapped up in a big banana leaf and hung it in the great grassy Limpopo river to cool. So he has wrapped, Golu's nose has turned long. So he has wrapped it in banana leaf and he was moving around the Limpopo river in order to enjoy, to have rest. Golu sat there for 2 days waiting for his nose to cool and to shrink. It grew cool, but it didn't shrink. He was waiting that his nose would shrink back to his size. It cooled down, but it did not shrink. It was out that 5 feet long. At the end of the second day, a fly came and stung Golu on the shoulder. Golu lifted his long nose with it and fly dead. So one day what happened? He was sitting near the river on the second day. A fly came and it has bitten Golu on his shoulder. So Golu, his hand would not reach there. So what he has done, he has turned out his trunk and dabbed it with the fly. And ultimately what happened? The fly was dead there. So at the end of the second day, advantage number 1, hissed the python. Python hissed means, yes, this is your first advantage because of having this long nose. This is very beneficial for you. You couldn't have done it with a small nose. Try and eat a little now. He said, no, what you will do, you will just try a little now. Golu, now he put out his trunk and plucked a large bundle of grass. He dusted it against his four legs and stuffed into his mouth. So Golu, what he did, he pulled out his trunk and he plugged. Plug means take out a, you can say, big bundle of grass, and with his trunk, he has put it into his mouth, right? So this was another advantage. So now what is happening, that Golu is learning how to use his trunk. Okay, what he is learning? How to use his trunk, right? So advantage number 2 is the python. Python said, yes, now can use your trunk to take the food also. You couldn't have done it with the small nose. Don't you think the sun is too hot now? He said, yes, with your short nose, you cannot take this food. So I think now it is very hot because the sun is shining. So now Golu scooped up some mud from the bank and slapped it on his head. So what he did with his trunk, he has scooped out. Scoop means take out. Okay, some mud and put over his head so that he could be cool. Advantage number 3, Python said, yes, this is the third advantage you are using. You couldn't have done it with a small nose. If you have a small nose, you couldn't have done it. So think you, Mr. Python, Golu said, I will remember all this and now I will back to my family. He said, Python, thank you very much because you have also helped me to know that actually this is very beneficial for me. My trunk is very beneficial for me. And finally, he has gone back to his family. He is no longer ashamed of his long nose. Very simple story, but very easy and funny. Funny it was, right? Okay, so now you come to know how Golu grows a nose. How, Kanishk, how Golu grows a nose? Yes. How Golu grows a long nose? With the help? Yes, in order to save himself, he pulled his nose and ultimately it grew to 5 feet long. Okay, so let us do the question answers. Okay, whom does Golu ask? Why don't you ever fly like other birds? Yes, Krishna. Give the answer, Bhavya.
Yes, ma'am.
Give the answer.
He asked to ostrich.
Golu asked his tall
Ostrich.
the ostrich, why don't you ever fly like
Like
other
other
birds?
birds.
Okay, right. So Golu asked his aunt, the ostrich, that why she didn't fly like other birds. Or Golu asked ostrich why didn't fly like other birds.
Yes.
Okay. Next, which uncle of Golu had red eyes?
Golu's huge uncle, the
The
hippopotamus, had red
had
eyes.
red eyes.
The hippopotamus uncle of Golu had red eyes. So what will be the answer? Speak again.
The
Huge uncle, the
hippopotamus uncle
hippopotamus had red eyes.
Okay, the hippopotamus uncle had red eyes.
Eyes.
Okay, Golu's relatives did not answer his questions. Afterwards,
because the questions were too difficult.
the questions were
The
too
questions were too difficult.
The question was too difficult.
difficult to answer. Next, who advised Golu to go to the Limpopo River?
The myna bird advised Golu to go to the Limpo River.
Very good. Who advised the
Myna birds.
bird advised Golu to go to the Limpopo River to get the Limpopo River. Okay, next. Why did Golu go to the river?
Golu go to the river to find out what the crocodile has for
Crocodile
its
had
dinner.
for his dinner.
Yes.
What crocodile had for its dinner.
Golu went to the river to find a
To know what the crocodile had for his dinner.
what crocodile had for his dinner.
Dinner.
And what crocodile had for his dinner. Next, the crocodile lay on the bank of the Limpopo River. Golu thought it was a living crocodile, a dead crocodile, or a log
A log of wood.
A log of wood. Okay. Next, what did the crocodile? Yes. What did the crocodile do to show that it was a real crocodile?
Crocodile shed his crocodile tears to show that it
Crocodile
was
shed
real crocodile.
tears to show that it was
The
quite
crocodile shed his tears
shed tears.
and moved his tail also. The crocodile shed his tail and moved his tail also to show that he was a real crocodile. Very easy.
Crocodile.
Next, come here, little one, and I'll whisper the answer to you. Crocodile said this because he couldn't stand up. He wanted to eat Golu, or Golu was deaf.
He wanted to eat Golu.
He wanted to eat Golu. Next, who had Golu on the bank of the river?
Python had Golu on the river bank. He saved Golu's life from the crocodile.
Yes, he saved Golu from the grip of the crocodile. Who was there? It was the python who saved Golu from the grip of the
River bank.
crocodile. Next, name two things the elephant can do with his trunk and two he cannot.
The two things that elephant can do with his trunk are pluck a large
1 minute,
of
speak
grass.
one by one. Harjeet, speak out.
The two things that the elephant can do with his trunk are pluck a large bundle of grass and take it into his mouth. Second, scoop up some mud from the bank and slap it on his head. The two things the elephant cannot do with his trunk are cannot scratch himself with his trunk, cannot chew or eat, cannot scratch himself with his trunk,
Okay. And
cannot chew or eat food directly with his trunk.
Yes. So two things, he can scoop a bundle of grass, okay, and put into his mouth, and moreover, he can also scoop out mud and put over his head in order to keep himself cool. And the two things that he cannot do are not to scratch himself and not to chew food with the help of his trunk. Okay?
Directly.
So that's all for this chapter, the answers. Now what you have to do, just remember, in your notebook, you will do first question, second question, because third question is an MCQ, so you are not supposed to do. Then fourth, fifth in notebook, then seventh in notebook, and ninth and 12th. Where MCQs are there, you are not supposed to write in your notebook.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, beta.
मैम जो मैम ये एमसीक्यूज हैं मैम ये चैप्टर में से मैम पेपर में आएंगे
Yes, it can be in any form. Yep, anything can be there. Okay, chapter done means
Excuse me,
chapter read. Yes.
मैम एक बार लास्ट वाला रिपीट करना कि कौन कौन सी चीजें बोलो नहीं कर सकते थे
Let me speak the syllabus. Pay attention now. I have sent in the group also today. Okay. Now just listen to me carefully for the syllabus. Today I have sent in your group. Please listen. PT1 we have 3 questions. Gift of chappal, squirrel, rebel, tiny teacher bringing up curry. All done?
यस मैम यस मैम
Tenses
Yes,
now
ma'am.
done. Tenses and
Yes,
nouns.
ma'am.
यस मैम
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then we have determiners, sentences and adjectives,
यस मैम
narration,
यस
ma'am.
मैम
Yes, ma'am.
prefix, suffix, word formation. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, writing skills, application, diary entry,
यस मैम
Yes, ma'am.
paragraph, notice.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
यस
Now this you can say PT2, Gopal and Hilsa fish, ashes and quality.
यस मैम मैम द शेड भी है चीवी
Yes, shed and chivi are there. Poems, the shed and chivi. This we have done.
यस मैम डन
Yes, ma'am.
डन
Then tree poem is not in syllabus. Delete it. Okay. Next, pop and the anthem and Golu grows a nose.
यस मैम
Both are done. Desert is not in syllabus.
यस मैम
Okay. Then narration of perfect tenses we have done.
यस यस मैम
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Transitive, intransitive verbs.
Yes, ma'am.
यस मैम
Model
Yes, ma'am.
auxiliaries we have done.
Yes, ma'am.
यस मैम डन
Then voice, simple.
Yes.
यस मैम
Then finite and non-finite. This is left. We have done earlier,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
now we will revise it. Okay?
Yes,
But idioms are not in syllabus. Okay, they are deleted.
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम
Idioms nahi hai, it is deleted.
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम
Yes.
मैम जो लास्ट वाला क्वेश्चन है तो मैम उसमें दूसरा पॉइंट क्या था जो गोलू अपने ट्रंक से
He cannot scratch his body nor
Chew and eat food.
chew and eat food. Next, writing skills, informal letter done.
यस मैम यस मैम
Report writing and letter to editor
यस मैम डन
done. It means all syllabus is complete. Okay. So I don't think so any doubt. I have sent the syllabus in group also. Right. So that's all for today.
यस मैम
Okay. So that's all for today. In the next one, we will revise finite and non-finite verbs.